Now, hopefully you know who Braso is, but for those who not know, Braso is a commentary YouTuber, and he got into a controversy regarding milking the recently passed away Minecraft YouTuber technoblade, and faking donations after that. Now, after these events happened 3 months ago, he dropped a video saying, "Where's my 3,000 technoblade donation?" And that's what we're going to react today. But before we do that, think about subscribing because we're on the way to 100 subs, and I appreciate if you join us. But anyways, let's dive.
Negativity. Negativity is a tendency to be downbeat, disagreeable, and skeptical. It's a pessimistic attitude that always expects the worst. Negative outcomes are bad outcomes, like losing a game, getting a disease, suffering an injury, and etc. And what I'm going to be talking about today kinda represents this entire thing, because over the last exactly like 2 months, this has been happening, and it's crazy to me. I've been observing a lot of stuff and a lot of behaviors of YouTube commenters, and I have realized that everyone just looks at the negative. Every possible person on YouTube who has commented about the situation that I was in as a negative thing, as a bad thing. But now let's look at positivity, the practice of being or tendency to be positive or optimistic in attitude, the presence rather than an absence of a certain substance, condition, or feature. Now you're probably asking, what do you mean? What does this have to do with anything? Well, it actually has to do a lot about what I'm talking about here. Now you clicked on this video to know where is my promised $3,000 donation to charity, because I faked a donation to charity almost 2 months ago. Now obviously I know it was very wrong for a lot of reasons. It was simply wrong. But now let's go back to the complete start. Death. The irreversible cessation of all vital functions, especially as indicated by permanent stoppage of heart, respiration, and brain activity, the end of life, is a negative thing. It's a very bad thing. And if someone dies, the negative energy just spreads. And it is like that. And it's a human nature that negativity and sadness spreads when someone passes. Now, when that happened and the news to the public were represented by a video on Technoblade's channel, a lot of people were just broken, including me. I was sad, and when I made the first video about Technoblade, which is called Technoblade Thank You for Everything, or like Thank You for Everything Technoblade, whatever it was, I could barely make that video. I could barely make it. If you look at the video, I have parts where I literally start crying and I just cut them out, so like I don't look like a fucking dumbass, you know? I know it's okay to cry, but I just don't want to present myself like that, you know? Now, after that first initial video, as a lot of you know, I make about 7 or 8 more videos strictly talking about Technoblade. And if you just look at those videos, I can give you a reason for every single video that I made. The next video after Technoblade Thank You for Everything is I Am Sorry Technoblade. Now this video is basically where I talk about making a video about what happened to Technoblade just like couple days before his video on his main channel about his death, where I basically just said, oh, Techno's probably not uploading because he's a bit lazy, or you know, something stupid like that. I said that, so I made a video basically saying sorry to Technoblade, and that was it. That was that video. Now the next video I made, I named it I Am Very Disappointed, which doesn't include Technoblade in the title, but it still got a lot of views. And I was basically talking about how, I don't even remember, something about me being like insanely disappointed in like a lot of people that he just died and people are making fun of him and like some actual crazy stuff, and I'm completely against that. You should never do that. It's fucking horrible. Now the next video, which is the 4th video, if you're a Technoblade fan, watch this. And it was a super good video in my opinion. I found this Discord conversation on Twitter where Techno and someone else like was talking about in Discord, and he was basically talking about what happened if he died. And it was a very positive minded video. And now you probably see, oh my god, you made 4 videos on someone's death. You are milking them. You are this horrible person. But this brings us back to the first chapter of this video. Negativity. That's all people look at. That is literally what people look at.
Ignore my cat meowing, but so his point is that if people criticize them, that is a negative. We're being negative. So that does not make any logical sense because you use somebody else's death for money. By the way, are you not acknowledging that the fact you're gaining money off somebody else's death and profiting, and are you not seeing that? Is that some type of positive when it's obviously not a positive? You're using somebody else's death and acting like we're supposed to be happy because you use somebody else's death, and the video is monetizable, which is so stupid. Also, I ignore my dog as well. I don't know what their problem is, but um I don't get
Negativity. That's all people look at. That is literally what people look at. And that is the only thing people look at. But what if I told you that everything that I did was super positive? It was all meant to be positive. It was all meant for people to kind of laugh at. You know, for example, let me read you some comments from genuine, positive, and happy people. These are some comments on the video that I just talked about. If you're a Technoblade fan, watch this. Made my day. Almost patched up this fresh wound. We'll miss you, Techno. This really just shows Techno's personality, how he would try and make everyone laugh and be happy in the darkest times. He was a light for so many people and will be missed greatly. Rest in peace, Technoblade. This literally brought a tear to my eye. He was, is, and will be always so optimistic, and we will always look up to the legend himself, the true hero that never died in our hearts, the true hero that will never be forgotten. This helped brighten my day. I miss him. He meant a lot to me and got me into the community. Me and my friend were watching TikTok. So many things were about Technoblade, and we had to keep ourselves from crying because it would help our makeup run. But at the moment, I bet Techno was watching us thinking, ha, nerds, he shall never die in our hearts. And if you see, there's hundreds if not thousands of more comments like this. It's people who think about the whole situation with positivity. You know, most people would go on this video, type, stop milking Technoblade's death, blah blah blah, and that's it. They're just negative people. Like most of you are. Probably most of you are. I'm not gonna say specific names, obviously, because I don't know, but I bet most of you are, because I receive comments on the daily basis.
So let me get this straight. So you think we're negative people because we criticized you and called you out on your BS. That does not make any sense. Also, ignore my cat meowing. I don't know what her problem is. So by your logic, we're negative because you messed up, and we're supposed to be happy that you use somebody else's death. What? You're gonna get criticism. Why are you acting like you're new to criticism? You're acting like we're sad. You're just technically calling us haters at this point. You're calling us haters, and we're haters because we called you out on your BS, and it's just stupid. But anyway, so I'm gonna play different parts of this because it's kind of like a long video, and I already made this video long enough. So I'm just gonna play one part of the video that I find interesting, and yeah, that's
I don't care if you say this is milking. What is really bad about it, you know? And this brings us to the chapter 3, that money problem. Basically, the biggest thing that people are crying about even till today. You got paid for these videos. You got paid for making and milking someone's death. How horrible of a person are you? And again, this brings us back to chapter 1. It's all about negativity, jealousy, and a lot of other things. And this is what the society is failing to do. Look at the positive.
So he goes on to blame society that he got called out by like every commentary YouTuber for faking donations and using somebody else's death, which is a very reasonable thing to do. It's incredibly reasonable because you're using somebody else's death for money. There is a quite obvious reason, and you're not seeing it. You're not seeing the negatives. The negatives outweigh the positives, and you're making us focus on the positives instead of the negatives, even though the negatives outweigh the positives. And you're confusing me. It's stupid. You are stupid. It doesn't make any logical sense. The negatives outweigh the positives, and when you get negative, when somebody criticizes you, you automatically call them a hater and just excuse the fact that you use somebody else's death and just I'm mind blown because how stupid you are. But I'm not going to continue talking to this. I'm not going to continue reacting to this. If you like this video, drop a like and subscribe, and that's it. I'll catch you later, and yeah.
Ignite, I'm driving over 85.